PLD provides a lesson block structure using the starter packs. This is the Year 5 and 6 lesson block demonstration video using the starter packs. The structure of the 30-minute daily routine over the week is broken down as follows. Monday and Tuesday begin with a whole class daily review before moving into speech sound mapping tasks. Wednesday and Thursday begin with a whole class daily review before moving into word study tasks. And Friday is for repeated reading and phonic dictation. All Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday lessons commence with a review of the previous 3 weeks' worth of content, starting with high frequency words for those working in stages 1, 2 and 3, or they become commonly misspelled or confused words. All high frequency words are taught by speech sound mapping, and you will demonstrate with a group 1, a group 2 and a group 3 word. Group 1, your word this week is quantity. Quantity. The lady purchased a large quantity of apples from the market. Quantity. Well, what are my syllables in quantity? I have quantity. We're going to map the easy parts first, the regular parts first. My second syllable, represented by T and I, is T. Quantity. My final syllable, represented by the T and the Y making an E sound, quantity. The initial syllable is what you have to learn by heart, because quantity sounds like O. The vowel sounds like an O sound, but it's actually represented by the letter A. A in this case is saying O. If I was to use my spelling voice, I would say quantity, quantity. If I was to use my reading voice, I would say quantity, quantity. Group 2, you have some homophones to work on this week. We are looking at the word principle and the word principle. Now, they sound the same, but they actually mean something very different, and you need to remember when to use the correct spelling in what context. Well, let's break down the syllables first. In my first principle, I have principal. Then I have principal. Now, this principle here is like the boss at your school. Now, they're not your pal, they're your boss. Principal, not your pal, your boss, is the principal of your school. This principle are rules or beliefs that guide us. For example, I have strong principles in being honest and showing integrity as a person. So how do I use each in the right context? I may say, my principal taught us the principle of honesty at our school. Group 3, your word is court. What are the sounds in court? I have k or t, court. Let's map the irregular parts first. My initial sound is k, k, represented by k. My final sound is t, t. But my sound in the middle, it sounds like or, of horse, O-R, or, but it's actually a concept that you haven't quite learnt yet. It's represented by something we call a quadgraph. They are 4 letters making one sound, or. So A, U, G and H make the sound or. And we're going to love heart it because it's just something you're going to have to learn by heart. Option 2 is to use PLD's high frequency word program. It is a scripted day-by-day introduction of the high frequency words, teaching the speech sound mapping component on day 1 before moving into day 2, 3, 4 and 5 of reduced scaffolding for reading and spelling practice. Now, many of the commonly misspelled words or confused words in stages 4, 5 and 6 are recycled and may be found in stages 1, 2 and 3. Next, we review each group's recently taught phonic concepts. Option 1 is to use the really handy flashcards that you will find in your time savers books. Group 1, over the last 3 weeks, we have been learning about prefixes. Well, what's a prefix? A prefix is a group of letters that you may add to the beginning of a word and it changes the meaning. We learnt about the prefix extra, and extra means moves beyond or out of. Now, if something is extraordinary, it is extraordinary. It is beyond ordinary. It's extraordinary. We also looked at the prefix trans. Trans means to move across or beyond. So if I were to transplant a plant or an organ from body to body, I'm moving it from one place to another. We've also been learning the prefix miss. What does miss mean? Miss is to badly, incorrectly, or at fault. So if someone was up to a bit of mischief, they may be exhibiting some naughty behaviour. They are misbehaving. They're up to mischief. Group 2, you have been learning suffixes. Well, what are suffixes? They are a group of letters that go at the end of a word. Now, they may change the meaning of the word or how the word is used. We have looked at the suffix ist. It is one who. So, for example, if I were an artist, I am one who practices art. We've also been looking at the suffix or. It is a person who. So, for example, if I'm an editor at a newspaper, I am one that reads all the articles and fixes them. I go back through and I edit. I make changes and make corrections. I'm an editor. I'm one who edits. Now remember, the or sound at the end of these words is a schwa. So I may be an editor when I use my spelling voice, but use my reading voice, I am an editor. Group 3, we have been looking at the trigraph ch of which. This trigraph usually follows a short vowel sound. And finally, group 3, we have been looking at the digraph sound f, 2-letter. Now, we have learnt that whenever you see words using these 2 letters, the P and H making f, those words normally have an origin in Greek. Option 2 is to revisit the last 3 weeks using your PowerPoint content. So group 1, over the last 3 weeks, we have been learning about prefixes. What are prefixes? They are a group of letters that you will put before the beginning of a word and it changes the meaning. We looked at the word extra. Extra means to move beyond. So if I was extraordinary, I'm moving beyond ordinary. I'm extraordinary. I'm extraordinary. On your whiteboards, we're going to do some spelling practice, but today I'm going to really check on your vocabulary. I'm going to check on the meaning of the words. On your whiteboard, I want you to spell for me the word that means beyond space. Sound and write, go. Okay, now let's check. Your word should have been extraterrestrial. Let's check your spelling too. Extraterrestrial. Okay, let me model on the board for you. Extraterrestrial. Check. Good. We've also been learning the prefix trans. What does trans mean? It means to move across or beyond. So if I was to move something, so you're looking at your list words, I'm going to check on your spelling, but I'm also checking on your vocabulary. Can you please spell for me the word that means to move something from one place to another? Okay, the word you should have written was transplant. What are my syllables? Transplant. Let's check our spelling. Transplant. Check. Great. Group 3, we've also been looking at the prefix miss. What does the prefix miss mean? Well, it means badly, incorrectly, or at fault. Group 2, over the last 3 weeks, we have been learning suffixes, and we've been looking at the suffix ist. What did ist mean? It is one who. What is the name of the person who practices science? Go. The word I was looking for, group 2, was scientist. Group 2 have also been looking at the suffix or. What did or mean? It is a person who. I'm going to check your vocabulary. What is the name of the person who might examine or go a little bit deeper within some information. They might look into something. What is the name of that person? Go. The word was inspector. Now, using my reading voice, I'd say inspector, but we know that using my spelling voice to be inspector. So let's practice, check our spelling. It would be inspector. Great. Group 3, over the last 3 weeks, we have been looking at our trigraph sound ch of which. Can you please write correctly the word on your whiteboard that if I've had to have a tennis match with someone, and you know, they rolled their ankle and I have to do it again, what is that called? Go. It is a rematch. Group 3, we've also been looking at our digraph sound, 2-letter. We've also learnt that when you see words with these digraph in it, they usually have originated from a Greek word, which was really interesting. Group 1, what are you learning this week? You are learning a suffix, the suffix able. Well, first of all, what's a suffix? Suffixes are a group of letters that we add to the end of the word and it changes the meaning or how we use it. What does able mean? It means capable of something. So if something is perishable, it means it's capable of perishing, like decaying or soiling. So for example, milk or eggs or meat, they are perishable. Remember, we learnt that there is a schwa sound here. So the word commendable, when we sound it out, we're going to use our spelling voice and then we're going to read it using our reading voice. Here we go. We have the word commendable, 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 agreeable, 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 remarkable, 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 favourable, favourable, favourable. Now, knowing that by looking at the base word, we can figure out what you're capable of doing. So who can tell me, in group 1, what does the word agreeable mean? What's the base word? The base word is agree. Able means you're capable of it. So what does agreeable mean? Capable of agreeing. Good. So group 1. What is your concept this week? You are looking at the suffix able. What does able mean? It means capable of, and you add it to the end of a word. Good. Group 2, you're also doing a suffix. Suffixes go at the end of the word, they change the meaning or how they're used. We are looking at the 3 letters O-U-S, make the sound us, the suffix us. What does it mean? Well, it means full of or possessing. So, if something is disastrous, it is full of or possessing disaster. Let's apply this concept to our next 4 list words for this week. We are going to start here. Our word is dangerous, 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 tremendous, 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 adventurous, 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 enormous, enormous, enormous. Group 2, what is your concept this week? You are doing a suffix. O-U and S make the sound us at the end of a word. What does it mean? It means you're full of or possessing. Group 3, this week you have 2 concepts to review. We are looking at the I sound. It's represented in 2 ways. You may have I of cry and you may have I 3-letter. When we are using I of cry, it is the consonant Y at the end of the word making the I sound. Why? Because I can't be at the end of an English word. Let's apply to our next list word. We have sp, I, sp, I, sp, I, spy. We've also learnt that I can be represented as a trigraph, 3 letters making 1 sound. I of light. Let's apply it to our next word. We have fight, 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 fight. Group 3, what are we revising this week? We're looking at the 2 ways we can make the I sound. We're looking at I of cry, where the letter Y makes the I sound at the end of the word. We're also looking at the I 3-letter trigraph sound. Now we move into the I do, we do, a speech to print spelling task. This is where the teacher will explicitly model the speech to print mapping for a Group 1, a Group 2 and a Group 3 word. Group 1, when you go back to your seats, this is what I want you to do. Now, remember we talked about that schwa with the commendable. Now you choose what you feel comfortable doing. You can either sound it out using your spelling voice, or you may sound it out using your reading voice. Let's use our spelling voice for our example. We are going to have the word commendable, commendable, commendable. Go, com, men, day, bull. It's double time, guys. Go again. Com, men, day, bull. Good. Group 2, when you go back to your seats, this is what I want you to do. You're going to sound out your word dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Go. Dangerous. Double time. Let's go. Dangerous. Good. Group 3, when you go back to your seats, this is what I want you to do. Let's sound out the word spy. I, I. Sound and write spy. I. Hey, it's double time. I. Let's have a look at our 3-letter trigraph I. It. It. Fight. Go, sound it out. I. Double time. I. Good. The students now move into the independent speech to print spelling tasks. This is the you do task. It is the same task, but for the different levels within your classroom. Remember, we want the students to speak it, sound it out, then map it. This is not just a handwriting or a copying practice task. Set a timer. On a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, this is a great opportunity for you to circulate and check on individual student progress. On a Thursday or a Friday, this could be used as independent work whilst you're working with a phonic dictation group. Wednesday now moves into the vocabulary focus midweek. Students working in stages 3, 4, 5 and 6 will have word study tasks midweek. Choose 6 words from their spelling list and they're going to complete the word study tasks outlined in your Time Savers books. We now move into the end of week repeated reading and phonic dictation component of our weekly overview. We start with the repeated reading first by locating words and reading for fluency and expression. Students working in stages 5 and 6 will complete phonic dictation once a week on a Friday. You begin by locating the focus words first, then we'll read the passage for fluency and expression. Fashionable but miserable. A fashionable person possesses a wardrobe that is always changeable. Ensuring garments are suitable and fashionable requires a considerable financial investment. Avoidable fabrics include those which are delicate and not washable. Being knowledgeable about which colours combine favourably together when making selections is helpful. Certain colours and fabrics appear very disagreeable, while others are much more admirable. It is reasonable to assume tailor-made clothing will be more flattering. However, they are not returnable. Accessories are important to complete an outfit, but these can be quite valuable. Even a person knowledgeable about fashion can find themselves miserable if they behold another wearing identical attire. Then you take the passage away and it becomes phonic dictation, as follows. Pencils down. A fashionable person possesses a wardrobe that is always changeable, full stop. A fashionable person possesses a wardrobe that is always changeable, full stop. A fashionable person possesses a wardrobe that is always changeable, full stop. What are you going to write? A fashionable person possesses a wardrobe that is always changeable, full stop. Go. Ensuring garments are suitable and fashionable. Ensuring garments are suitable and fashionable. Ensuring garments are suitable and fashionable. What are you going to write? Ensuring garments are suitable and fashionable. Go. Requires a considerable financial investment, full stop. Requires a considerable financial investment, full stop. Requires a considerable financial investment, full stop. What are you going to write? Requires a considerable and financial investment, full stop. Go. And so on. You may not get through the whole passage. If the timer goes off, you stop. You will repeat the process for group 2. Then we're going to read for fluency and expression. Becoming famous. Their snake charmer appeared nervous. In front of the snake charmer was an enormous and extremely poisonous cobra. The charmer was nervous because it was extremely dangerous to be attempting such a feat. However, if successful, the snake charmer was sure to become famous, and becoming famous would be a tremendous achievement. The snake charmer would definitely feel joyous if he was successful. With this in mind, the snake charmer attempted to control his nerves. You remove the passage from view. It is now phonic dictation. The snake charmer appeared nervous, full stop. The snake charmer appeared nervous, full stop. The snake charmer appeared nervous, full stop. What are you going to write? The snake charmer appeared nervous, full stop. Go. Edit. Pencils down. In front of the snake charmer, in front of the snake charmer, in front of the snake charmer, what are you going to write? In front of the snake charmer, go. Pencils down. Was an enormous and extremely poisonous cobra, full stop. Was an enormous and extremely poisonous cobra, full stop. Students working in stages 1 and 2 will have 2 readings on a Thursday and 2 readings on a Friday. The first reading is to decode, the second reading is for fluency and expression. Right, group 3, we're looking for our I 3 letters, okay? Let's locate first as we decode. A, n, I, t, s, nights, f, I, t, fight. A, n, I, t, night wanted to enter a f, I, t, fight later that evening. The n, I, t, night approached the king explaining that he wished to enter a fight that night at midnight. The king sighed and explained that it might be slightly brighter to delay the fight. Now we read for fluency and expression. The knight's fight. A knight wanted to enter a fight later that evening. The knight approached the king, explaining that he wished to enter a fight that night at midnight. The king sighed and explained that it might be slightly brighter to delay the fight. A lightning storm was approaching, and lightning was not good for eyesight. It was decided that at first light, the mighty knights would all fight, and they were delighted. You're going to remove the passage from view, and it is now phonic dictation. The knights fight. A knight wanted A night wanted. What are you going to write? A night wanted. Go. To enter a fight. To enter a fight. To enter a fight. What are you going to write? To enter a fight. Go. Later that evening, full stop. Later that evening, full stop. Later that evening, full stop. What are you going to write? Later that evening, full stop. Go. In this video, you have viewed the starter pack lesson block for students working in years 5 and 6. Let's have a quick recap. 30 minutes, 5 days a week, broken down as follows. Monday and Tuesday begin with a whole class data review before moving into speech sound mapping tasks. Wednesday, Thursday is for whole class data review before moving into word study tasks. And Friday is for repeated reading and phonic dictation.
If you found this information useful, don't forget to click the subscribe button and check out our related videos shown here. If you have any questions or feedback, please add them to the comments below and we'll be sure to respond. Otherwise, you can reach us via live chat on our website, pld-literacy.org. Thanks again for viewing.